Hi guys, welcome to the fourth part of the tutorial. Okay, last time we just did the first onClick method. Okay, and we added a short message to check to see if any of the field is empty. Okay, so we're just going to continue from there. So after the if statement that you had before, just put an else. Okay, so the else is basically if none of these is empty, then we can call our add details. Okay, now in order to call the add details, since this is another class, okay, what we're going to do is since this is an asynchronous type of class, okay, what we're going to do is we're going to say new add details, okay, bracket, we're going to say dot execute, okay, and we just leave that empty and we say semicolon at the end. Okay, and that basically is, so once this guy executes, what it's going to do is it's going to instantiate all of these variables. Okay, then it's going to run the DB helper and then run the add details method, and then after that it's going to do this part here. Okay, and once that's done, then on our screen we're going to get the message either the detail was added or if it wasn't. Okay, now we just need to finish off the add details class. Okay, so if you go into the add details class, it go down to where you have the post execute method. Okay, so inside the result is false. Okay, inside the result is false. Okay, so inside the result is false, we're going to say show message. Okay, and this takes a string, and we're going to say details added successfully. Okay, and then here we're going to say show message, and here we want to say details not added. Okay, and once you have that, I think that's pretty much it. Okay, so now I just remember that we still haven't created our tables in the database. Yeah, okay, so if you have a software that will allow you to connect to the database that you have and create tables on it, and that'd be great. Now if you were using this particular website, GitHub, and you were following what I was doing, okay, what I recommend is that you either have the MySQL Workbench or you can download that, because that will allow you to actually connect to this database and then add whatever tables, manipulate the database there. Okay, but if you have any other software that will allow you to do that, then that's fine. I've never used this site to actually create the tables from, because I'm not too sure where the control panels for that one is. Okay, and I'm probably guessing it's not for free users. It's probably for like premium users or something like that. So if you're using this, then what I suggest is have the MySQL Workbench and you can connect with that. So I'm just going to run mine here. Well, actually there is an alternative. Okay, actually if you don't have an MySQL Workbench, actually we might as well do it this way. Okay, so if you don't have MySQL Workbench, then what I suggest is inside the Android project, okay, go to your DB helper, and this time we're going to add another method. Okay, we're going to add a method just right after the constructor called public void create table. Okay, and this method will pretty much execute and create the table for us. Okay, so we're going to have our try and catch again as usual. So first thing first, actually, we need to say string query is equal to a string query. So this time we're going to say create table, and the table name will be app config table name. Okay, all right guys, inside the query, so you want to say create table if not exist. Okay, and then the table name, and then you want to have here is curly brace. Okay, now we want our table to have certain patterns or certain names. Okay, so we wanted to have the F name, L name, age, and height. Okay, so this so what we're going to do is we're actually going to add another variable, okay, another field, and that will be the ID. Okay, so in this case it's going to be UID is a type of int. Okay, UID is a type of int, and UID is not null, and it's auto increment. Okay, and then we want to say F name, which is a varchar, and this will be 50, and it's not null. Okay, and the next one is L name varchar, .50 is all, not null. Next one is age int. Okay, not null. And the next one is height int, not null. Okay, okay, and oh, another thing I forgot to mention is we need to make the UID a primary key. Okay, so this will be primary key, not null. Okay, okay, just double checking to see if this query will run. Right, since we already said it's a primary key, we don't need to say not null, because primary key by default won't be null, and the auto increment will allow it to always have a number or a value inside. Okay, and then once we have that, then we can say statement inside of our try method. Statement st is equal to con dot create statement. Okay, and then we're going to say statement st dot execute thing is execute update. Okay, so st dot execute updates, and this will be query. Okay, and then we need to catch the error, so catch SQL exception. log e tag and s dot get message. Okay, and this will create a table for us. Okay, now obviously if this didn't run, then we'll know at the start. So we're gonna put that private, and we're gonna have this method inside the constructor right after the the connection equal to driver manager, and we're just gonna call it create table. Okay, and then that will automatically create the table if it doesn't exist into the database. Okay, so you won't have to download MySQL Workbench or any other software to actually manipulate your database. Okay, you can just run this query and it should create a table for you. Okay, now if I'm wrong, we're gonna have problems, but either way we can test it out. Okay, what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna test this out and see what we get, and I'm also gonna run the errors, run the log or the logcat to see what the errors are. Okay, I'm just double checking everything is there. Add, that's fine. Okay, so let's go ahead and run this. Okay, this might be taking a little longer. I'm going to pause the video, then I'm going to show you once the app loads up. Okay, the app did install, but it didn't run automatically, so I have to go and click on it. And now it's saying app isn't installed. It's great. By the way, if you're using Android Studio, if you have any more questions regarding that, I'm afraid I won't be able to help you. Like, I don't have that much experience with the Android Studio, so I don't know. It's I'm not really that much of a fan of IntelliJ, so if you have any questions on that, I strongly suggest you look up the Android developer website and see if you can find your answer from there. Okay, I think the update installed. I think, and the only way to find out is if we test it. Now, remember we had methods to check to see if the fields are empty. So if I click on this, nothing will happen obviously, but if I click on this, it should give me a message saying, please fill out details. So that means this is the latest update. Okay, so to test this out, I need to fill out the details. Okay, so let's say ran not 5, Jesus. 172, I think. And if we click the add, now let's see what kind of error we're gonna get. So now we're getting our adding details and adding details again, and then it crashed. Okay, so that means we got an error somewhere. Okay, so let's find out what we have. Okay, so async task, simple connect, blah blah blah, and the problem was a null pointer. Okay, so that can only mean one thing. It just means that our database wasn't created, or our table wasn't created. So just for the sake of this, I am going to use my workbench. I just want to check the connection on that. If you have workbench and you want to connect to your database, you're going to need the host name, the username, and then obviously the password as well. Okay. And if you're using this database here, this is the username and this is the host name. Okay. If I go here, host name, username on JDB. And test the connection just to make sure. I want to get the password. And that's fine. Click that. Let's connect to it. I just want to see if that table was created or not. Actually, so yeah, so the table wasn't created. Okay, so that's must have been why the error was coming up. So back to this. So just to make sure that we don't. So create table if not exist. All right, I forgot. Sorry, if not exist with an S there. Okay, so I think it was an escrow syntax error. If I go back to that, maybe I might find it. Okay. Let me just see. I wonder if would I even need to? No, I won't. Yeah, I won't. Sorry. Okay, so this should work now. Should work. I just pray it does work. Okay, guys. I just realized I missed out one more thing. If you go to your Android manifest file, okay, you need to add a permission. Okay, so if you go to the permission, add a permission, and the permission is it's the internet permission. Okay, so without the internet, the app won't be able to connect. Okay, so use Android permission. It should be under the eyes. And it yeah, use Android internet permission. Okay, so that should sort out our problem. Let's run that again. And once you make that changes as well, also if you come down to your app config file, okay, when you come down to the driver side, change this to driver with you know, just with an uppercase D and then everything else lowercase. Okay, otherwise like it won't be able to find that particular class. Okay, okay, so we're going to test that app again to see if this time it works. Okay guys, just testing the application. If it doesn't run here, you can test it on your phone and it should run. Okay, I know definitely on my phone it's gonna run. So I'm not sure about the emulator. There might be some restriction on the emulator. I'm just saying. Now, hopefully, there's no restriction on the emulator. But I know definitely that it's going to take a long time for this to execute. So if it does work for you, then that's great. If it doesn't, just check your logcat and find out if you got any error from the logcat. Okay. As you can see, so far I'm not getting any error. Maybe I did get one. Let's see. Okay. I don't know what that one is, to be honest. But as you can see, it's still running, so it's doing a really long background check there. But yeah, but that doesn't necessarily mean that it's not running. Like I said, it's best to test this with your phone. If you have a mobile phone, just test it with your phone and see what sort of result you get. Okay. Right. Once you have that done, that will conclude that for this tutorial. Okay. There's still one more part, which is going to be for displaying the details batch. Okay. Hopefully, I'm going to have some details done up already. Like I'm going to test this on my phone. Okay. And if it runs on my phone, then on the next tutorial, I'm just going to run the section where we just get the user detail and then display on the screen. Okay. All right. See you guys next time.